Hello everyone. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you in class today. I had a last minute appointment for my puppy for his eye. Hopefully this is the end and I'll be back with you in no time. We'll go through this as usual. Jot down any questions you have as we go though. And I know there's going to be some good questions out there. So you can email them to me, jot them down for tomorrow. I promise we'll go over anything that doesn't click today. You might want your calculator as backup. And then we'll go ahead and do the warm-up. You can give your homework to the sub. I'll check it and pass it back tomorrow. And then tonight we're just going to continue right along with our normal homework assignments. Go ahead and pause, get through some of these housekeeping items, and then we'll start. Okay, now that you've had a chance to try the warm-up on your own, let's see how it went. Whenever we are expanding or distributing, we're going to set up the box. 7y will go up top, that -9 or -9 in the other section, and we're multiplying by 1/2. So I have 1/2 times 7y over 1 and 1/2 times -9 over 1. Don't overcomplicate things. I would leave it as straightforward as possible. 1 times 7y is 7y, 2 times 1 is 2, and I would honestly leave it. And then we have 1/2 times -9, it's -9/2. Again, if you're more comfortable writing this as 7y over 2 or 7/2 y plus -9/2, these are equivalent and they are both acceptable answers. For part 2, we're simplifying. Okay, so that means combining like terms. We're going to use shapes to group our similar or our like terms. So maybe we put circles around the R family and maybe boxes around our constants, including the signs in front. Let's regroup. Okay, I'll put the R family together and the constants together. And we're almost going to treat these like two separate problems. Okay, for the first one we have 0.3 minus 1.5. I would probably recommend writing this as addition. 0.3 plus -1.5. This really makes it stand out that it's different sign difference and that I'm subtracting, but that the bigger number needs to be on top and the answer will be negative. So you have 5 minus 3 is 2, 1, bring the decimal down. So it's be a -1.2r. And now, okay, we'll look at the second problem. Again, different signs, so we should subtract. 2.9 minus 1.9, hopefully we know. It's 1.0. Jot down any questions you had. When you're ready, go ahead and flip the page. Okay, so today we're going to expand and simplify algebraic expressions. So really all we're doing is putting two previous lessons together to make one new one. Okay, we're combining two old skills to make a new skill. First of all, you cannot simplify expressions until you get rid of any parentheses that might be there. We will use the distributive property to expand the expression first before you combine like terms. Here's some examples. I do want you to recognize in this example we have 4 being multiplied by the parentheses. This is the piece that we distribute. This minus 3q or negative 3q is an additional piece, but it's not part of the expansion. So we're going to start by setting up our box. We have 1p plus 5q, and we're multiplying by 4. 4 times 1 is 4, keep the p. 4 times 5 is 20. Keep the q, and that was positive. Okay. I would almost recommend also jotting down this minus 3q to begin with so that we don't lose it along the way. So now what we're working with is 4p plus 20q minus 3q. And hopefully what's jumping off the page right now is that we can combine these like terms. 4p is on its own, but 20 minus 3 is 17. Keep the q. Because this variable, the p, is different than the q, they are not like terms, which means that this expression is in simplest form. Ready for another example? Example B. Again, the piece we're distributing is the number being multiplied by the parentheses. Any other addition or subtraction outside of that is extra. So we have -2 on the side, 0.5y minus 3 up top, and then don't forget about the plus 1y. Okay, well 2 times 1/2 is 1, and a negative times a positive will be positive. That's a 1y. And then we have -2 times -3 is positive 6. So now I'm going to take all of this and rewrite it. 1y plus 6 plus 1y. And we'll combine. 1y plus 1y is 2y plus the 6. If the video is going too fast, feel free to pause, rewind, and rewatch. When you're ready, we're going to move on. And I'm actually going to have you skip example C for the time being. Flip the page when you're ready. On this page, you have some you try questions to do on your own. Give those a try and come back to me when you're ready. Okay, now that you've tried these on your own, let's see how it went. After distributing, you should have had 4a plus 6b plus 5b, leaving you with 4a plus 11b as your answer. For 13, a little bit trickier, a few more steps to follow. After distributing, you should have had -3 halves k plus 12 minus 2k. Your final answer should be -7 halves k plus 12. Again, keep things easy, leave it improper, don't worry about mixed numbers. Although if you did, certainly don't worry about that either. And then we could skip 14 for now. If you did 14, I'm curious to see how you did once we go over the next section. Flip the page. Special case, adding and subtracting binomials. If you remember, a binomial is an expression that has two terms. When we're adding binomials, we first need to drop the parentheses. Then we combine as usual. So when you're adding binomials, it's actually quite simple. It's the subtraction that throws some of us off. So let's look at this example of addition. Again, we're going to start by dropping the parentheses. The only thing the parentheses are doing here is just separating it into binomials. Okay, so it's just saying, okay, here's these two terms. We're adding to these two terms. We have two binomials being added. But the parentheses don't add much value other than separating the binomials, therefore we can get rid of them. Okay, and now we'll combine. I will put circles around the x family, boxes around the constants, and I do always recommend rewriting. 2x plus 1x is 3x, and then we had a 2 plus a 4 is a 6. And we're done. Let's take a look at example 2. Again, drop those parentheses and combine. Always include the sign in front. Okay, when I rewrite, I'm seeing negative 5x plus 3x. Those have different signs, so I subtract, leaving me with a negative 2x. And then we have plus 8 minus a 6 will be a positive 2. And we're done. When you're ready, pause the video and try 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your own or with a partner. Okay, now that you tried them on your own, how did you do? Take a moment to check your answers. If you don't have any questions, go ahead and flip the page. Now we will tackle subtracting binomials, and it is a bit trickier. For these, we will change subtraction to addition. Okay, now you know from keep, change that subtracting is the same thing as adding a negative. So instead of writing this as 6x minus 4 minus 3x minus 3, I'm going to recognize that this is a negative 1 being multiplied, and I'm going to make this addition. Okay? So I'm going to keep the parentheses, change subtraction to addition, and change this to a negative 1. Okay, and now I've really defined the distributive property as this part here, and I can set up my box. Okay, so we will distribute the negative 1, then you can drop your parentheses, and lastly you can combine. Let's go ahead and do some examples. Okay, so again, we're going to keep the first parentheses, change subtraction to addition, and change this secret 1 to a negative 1. And this becomes the box. Okay, negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Hopefully we start recognizing that by multiplying by negative 1, you're really just changing all of the signs inside. Okay, and I'm now going to replace this box with my new box, and I can drop the parentheses. So 7x plus 5 minus 3x minus 2. And we can combine. 7x minus 3x is 4x, and 5 minus 2 is 3. So our answer here will be 4x plus 3. Jot down any questions you have, and we'll try example 2. We will keep the first parentheses, change to addition, make this a negative 1 times 7x plus 9. Again, this becomes the box. Negative 1 times 7 is negative 7x. Negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. And we will rewrite, dropping the parentheses. Negative 3x minus 2 minus 7x minus 9. And combine. Negative 3x and a negative 7x will be a negative 10x because they have the same sign. And then -2, and then -9 will be -11. Again, they had the same sign. When you're done, go ahead and try examples 1 through 4. Pause the video, come back when you're ready. Okay, now that you tried these on your own, how did you do? Fix any mistakes you may have made, and then you have some extra practice. You certainly do not need to get through all of these, but give a few of them a try, enough to feel comfortable with today's topic. Thank you for your help with everything today. Again, send me an email or we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.